Okay, Golf Magazine, golf.com has dropped their top 100 you can play in the US. Let's take a look. Okay, so before we get started, I want to let you know this is not a critique of any courses. This is more a critique of the list. I'm starting to clearly see that their standard for judging courses is not the way us golfers judge courses. That's to say, they do things that when we want to know about a course being great, we think, is the course great? We don't think about the history and the prestige, let alone, or is it attached to a nice resort? And on this list, I think a lot of people with good advertising dollars with nice resorts got their rankings kind of inflated. So I've been fortunate enough to play over half of these. And let's get started with Broadmoor. I actually think it deserves to be on the list. This is probably a good ranking for it. It is connected to a great resort, so some people may say, is it the best mountain course? Maybe not, but it's a really solid course, a classic gym. Next, we're looking at Pinehurst number 8. I really liked it. It's Tom Fazio. You know it's going to be a beautiful course, so good ranking position. French Lick, the Die course, top 20 course in the USA. Top 25 at least, at minimum. And the fact that the Ross course outranked the Die course is blasphemy. Next is Cascada. I think that's about right. Beautiful course, especially if you're in Vegas. You know, you got to get a little representation from across the country. This is a good point. Primland definitely should be on the list. I think this is a pretty good ranking. Also, another great resort. But yeah, Primland, it's a good mountain course. Okay, Amelie La Costa, it's surprising it's on the list. It's a really great resort, especially if you have a young family. La Costa's great, but I don't know if it should be on the top 100 public list. Okay, next up we have La Quinta Hotel Mountain. It's another nice resort with a pretty good course. But I do think Caledonia is properly ranked, especially if you're in the Myrtle Beach area. It's really a go-to option. I also think True Blue might have been able to sneak on this list if some of these other courses made it. Karsten Creek is another one. Solid course. Really good course. I liked it a lot. Tom Fazio, beautiful. Innisbrook is a nice course. It does host the tour, so if that matters to you, that's a good factor. It is connected to a nice resort. If you're in Tampa, it's a good place to stay and play. Mm-hmm. TPC Harding Park, I think, deserves to be on the list. I think this might be a little bit of high of a ranking. It does, host a tour from time to time. Um, Beautiful course. Forest Dunes, definitely think deserves to be on the course. This might be a little bit of high of a ranking, but it's definitely a top 100 course. I enjoyed it. It's a really great anchor to a great Michigan golf trip. And Wekopa, yeah, if you got to put a course from Arizona, this one or maybe another one should be on the list. And so I could see that if you're trying to give Arizona some love. Okay, once again, Myrtle Beach, the Dunes. If you want to give Myrtle Beach some love and you want to be in Myrtle Beach proper, the Dunes is probably the best course in that area. Um, in Hilton Head, easily, Palmetto Bluff is the best course attached to a phenomenal resort. You got to kind of stay and play to get there. And it ain't cheap, but it is the best course in that region. This is another one that doesn't make any sense. The Arcadia Bluff should be top 25 minimum, maybe top 20. And the fact that the Bluffs is here and the South Course outranks it doesn't make any sense. This is worse than Pete Dye. No, it's not worse, but it's not. It's both. The rankings are flipped. PGA West properly ranked. La Quinta Stadium Course, definitely a great experience. And Sand Hollow could be higher. From your average golfer, that's going to be a great experience. Anchor a great trip. Definitely think Sand Hollow could be higher. Beautiful, beautiful course. And the Greenbrier, I think it's properly ranked. Especially if you're a fan of classic golf courses, this is a really, really good chance to see some great classic golf architecture. I just played Tot Hill for the first time this year, and I liked it a lot. I think this is probably a good ranking. It's definitely a mid hundreds course. Very dramatic, very Mike Strantz. I mean, we gotta get as much Mike Strantz on this list as possible, so I think this is good. And Rustic Canyon, it's probably one of the best budget golf courses in the country. So I understand its ranking on here. This might be a little high, but it's solid. Some guys from LA clearly are ranking courses. Personally, I think Torrey Pines is just a touch high, but I understand this ranking because it could also be higher, and that would make sense. The French Lick Ross course, I love that course. It's definitely a top 100 course. Do I think it should outrank the Dye course? Not in any way. But if you go to French Lick, you got to play both courses, and it really French Lick is a great golf destination just for these two courses alone, and a really nice resort. Sea Island makes me think that you're saying that the resort and its quality is a factor in how great a course is. And I think that Sea Island is a very nice course attached to a phenomenal resort. Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff. You see, I'm starting to get a little bit more yellow on the board. Pine Needles, properly ranked, beautiful course. Southern Pines just above it. You can interchange it based on your style, but these courses are correctly ranked. I think Streamsong Black is in the right position. I haven't played it, but I'm really interested in the park, so I'm just going to say the park is in the right place based on the feedback I've heard. Mid Pines above Pine Needles and Southern Pines makes sense to me. Mid Pines should be much higher to me. It's my favorite in the Pinehurst region, and I hear that from a lot of other golfers. Chambers Bay should be top 25 as well. 31 doesn't seem far off, but when you play it, it's top 25 public in the country. Forest Dunes The Loop does not need to be on this list. It's a nice idea, but it doesn't need to be on the list. And Black Wolf Run, properly ranked, maybe just outside the top 25 is probably right, but it could be inside the top 25 too. It's a classic. For some reason, Pete Dye courses are falling off left and right here. I think it's just the way people are changing courses and building them now. Aesthetically, isn't like how Pete built them, but Black Wolf Run is a great course. Tobacco Road, another great Mike Strantz course, definitely worthy of being on the list. I think this is properly ranked. One of my favorites, also a great experience. Not a course I want to play every day, but definitely on a vacation, especially when I'm down in the Pinehurst area. Always want to play Tobacco Road. Sand Valley, properly ranked. Pinehurst number 4, somewhere in this range, somewhere between 25 to 35 would probably be right for this course. My favorite on the Pinehurst property. I haven't played number 10 though, and I've heard great things about it. Well, I've heard very good things about it. And Spyglass should be in the top 20. It's phenomenal. It starts off great. Once you get inside the trees, it's also awesome. Definitely a can't miss experience. Erin Hills could be top 10 to me in the country public list wise, but definitely top 15. So 21's way too low for me for Erin Hills. Definitely one of the best courses in America. Okay, before we go too far, let me throw out some courses I think should have been in the top 100. Bay Harbor in Michigan, Royal New Kent in Virginia, Cog Hill in Illinois, the Virtues in Ohio, and Tullymore in Michigan. I think all could have made this list. Really, they're great courses. They would have been spread out, but Bay Harbor always gets overlooked, and it's great. Everybody loves it. Okay, let's finish it off. A little rapid fire. Sand Valley course deserves to be in there. Streamsong Blue and Red are so similar. I can understand them being there. Gamble Sands definitely top 100, but I think the resort and how fun it is when you get there really plays a factor in it. It could be lower, in my opinion, but it's definitely top 100. Old McDonald, I think it should be lower, but definitely should be in. All the band-in courses have to be on every list for some reason. Arbor Town could be lower, but definitely top 100. Pasatiempo, that's about right, especially if you're into classic golf architecture. Definitely top 20. Whistling Straits should be top 5. To me, it's number 1, but I can understand people depending on your taste, but it should be top 5. Bandon Dunes, good. Sawgrass, good. Trails, good. Kiowa, good. Bethpage, great. Perfect ranking. Lido, kind of high for something so new. It needs to grow in a little bit. Pack Dunes, either you love it or you think it's just not the best course there. I like it a lot. Definitely top 100, definitely top 20. Number 3 is high. Pinehurst number 2. No, no, no. Top 20, yes, not number 2. And Pebble is Pebble. It's going to be number 1. It's kind of like the gold standard. So Pebble's going to be Pebble. That's it, everybody. The boss golfs.